Developing your creative practice is one way that Arts Council England supports individuals. In this video, I'm going to shorten developing your creative practice to DYCP. DYCP is not a fund to support you to deliver a project. It's not a fund for engaging people, for example, audiences or visitors. Instead, it's a fund that's all about you making a meaningful shift in your practice that leads to future opportunities. This video is for you if you don't know much about DYCP and want a broad overview. This video isn't going to tell you absolutely everything you need to know about DYCP. Reading the guidance is going to help you write a strong application. But over the next few minutes, we'll cover some quick facts about the fund. The fund is really competitive. Our previous budget has allowed us to fund around 1 in 5 applications. These videos are intended to support you to make a strong application or to decide to wait until your idea is more developed. We'll also explain what attachments you need to include, and we'll give you some basic information about the budget and activity plan. And finally, we'll look at the dates and deadlines for this round, which is round 24. So here are 4 facts about DYCP. Fact 1. You must have a career as an individual creative or cultural practitioner in order to apply, and you need to work in one of the disciplines that we support. We use the word discipline, but you could also use the word art form or speciality. The eligible disciplines are as follows: combined arts, which includes carnival arts and festivals, dance, digital arts, libraries, literature, museums, music, theatre, and visual arts. Some artistic practices don't come under our disciplines, and you can watch the Am I Eligible video to find out more. We recognise that many artists work across several different disciplines, and this might be you. So although you can only pick one, don't overthink it. We know that creative and cultural work doesn't always easily fall into categories, and your practice might sit within one of these disciplines or across a few of them. Fact 2. This fund supports development activity which demonstrates a meaningful shift in your practice and leads to future opportunities. So DYCP isn't about doing more of the same. It's about making a real shift in your practice. The purpose of the fund is to support bold, ambitious change that has a realistic chance of being achieved. DYCP exists to support those really rare moments in your life when everything comes together to enable a big shift. Fact 3. This is a simple one. You can apply for between £2,000 and £12,000. Fact 4. You can apply for activity that lasts up to 1 year from the date you receive a decision, and we'll talk more about dates in a minute.
To apply for DYCP, you have to submit an application via our grant portal. The application form asks you about 3 key things: your creative or cultural practice, your development opportunity, and your future. We break down these questions in more detail in our top tips video. You must provide 2 things with your application. The first is an example of your work. This could be a web link or an attached document. This should demonstrate the quality of your work. A top tip is to imagine you're introducing someone to your work for the first time. What would you show them or play them? What format best represents your work? And how would you make it easy for them to open? The second is a letter of support. This must come from someone who has been involved in your career, understands the development opportunity you're applying for, and can explain the future opportunities this activity may create for you. A top tip is to make sure it's clear who the letter is from so we understand the relevance. Remember, there is more detail in our guidance about the size of attachments we can accept. If your document or web page requires a password, provide this somewhere in your application. Don't use a link to a site that requires payment details or membership to view, such as LinkedIn, as we won't be able to access it. If we can't access your document or webpage, then we may view your application as ineligible. We will ask what you will spend the grant on and how you've worked out these costs. You don't need to have any income from other sources to apply to this programme. We just want you to tell us how you'll spend the funds. If you experience barriers because, for example, you identify as deaf, disabled, neurodivergent, or have a long-term health condition, there may be extra costs related to your access requirements. You can include these costs in your application and they won't count to the £12,000 limit. Some examples are if you need a British Sign Language interpreter or a note taker. We ask you, what are the key activities and when will they happen? What are the key milestones and when do you expect them to be? Remember, your activity can last up to 1 year. The key dates for this round of DYCP are: the application portal opens at 12 midday on Thursday the 4th of June. The application portal closes at 12 midday on Thursday the 2nd of July. We'll let you know about our decision by Thursday the 8th of October. Access support is open now, and we can guarantee that requests received up until midday on Thursday the 11th of June will be reviewed.
Finally, here are some top tips for starting your application. Before you start, you might want to watch some of our other videos about DYCP. Am I eligible? Helps you understand whether you're eligible to apply. Another video asks, which is the right funding programme for me? And helps you understand the difference between developing your creative practice and National Lottery project grants. These are both funds that help us to support individuals. There's also a top tips video which you can watch if you're ready to draft your application. It's important that you meet the eligibility requirements, that your idea is ready for an application, and that you've read our guidance. So before you start writing, we recommend taking the Am I Ready to Apply quiz on our website that'll help you test your ideas.